The ground trembles beneath the hooves of charging cavalry. Dust storms rise over the plains of Talas. Screams echo between the mountains as Chinese spearmen brace their line, shields up, crossbows raised, and Arab horsemen thunder forward, blades drawn, banners flying, shouting. From the flanks, a deafening cry erupts. The Karluk Turks have turned. They descend on their former allies, stabbing, slashing, betraying. In a single moment, the tide of centuries begins to shift. This is not just a battle. This is the collision of two worlds, the Abbasid Caliphate of Islam and the Tang Dynasty of China. And though few today remember the Battle of Talas, its aftermath would reshape Central Asia, unlock secrets hidden for centuries, and change the very course of world civilization. By the 8th century, two giants had risen from the ashes of fallen empires. In the West, the Islamic world exploded like wildfire. The Rashidun caliphs shattered Byzantine Syria, crushed Persia's mighty Sassanids, and carved an empire stretching from Spain to the Indus. Then came the Umayyads, pushing eastward into Transoxiana, seizing cities, fortresses, and trade routes across the Silk Road. In the east, the Tang Dynasty ruled over the most powerful Chinese empire since Han. By 715 AD, they had subdued the Turkic Khaganates, overawed the Tibetans, and pulled dozens of kingdoms into vassalage. But both empires had grown too large, and the heart of Asia, the Silk Road, could not be shared. A clash was inevitable. The Fergana Valley was the spark. In 715, local kings sought help from the Tang to resist Muslim expansion. With Tibetan assistance, the Chinese defeated the Arabs. In 717, they sent Karluk mercenaries who won again. But the Umayyads didn't give up. They expanded, building fortresses and converting cities, until, in 750, everything changed. The Abbasid revolution swept across the caliphate. As-Saffah, the slaughterer, overthrew the Umayyads. The Abbasids took the throne and turned east to secure their rule. Meanwhile, in 747, Tang general Gao Xianzi launched a campaign into Gilgit, defeating Tibetan allies and forcing local states into submission. Soon, his eyes turned to Tashkent. Tashkent's princes were feuding with Fergana. Gao intervened, captured the city, executed its ruler, and installed a puppet. But his brutality backfired. The people of Tashkent called for help from the Abbasid Caliphate. From Samarkand, Abbasid general Ziyad ibn Saliha answered. He rallied Arab troops, Turkic horsemen, and veterans of the revolution. Together, they marched toward Talas. In the summer of 751, the two armies met near the Talas River. Arab and Chinese sources wildly disagree on numbers, but most modern scholars agree. 30,000 to 50,000 on each side. Gao's forces included Tang infantry, archers, and Karluk allies. Ziyad's army had Arab infantry, Turkic cavalry, and Khorasani veterans. For 4 grueling days, they fought. Arrows darkened the sky. Crossbows struck down wave after wave. Chinese spearmen in heavy armor pushed forward. Ziyad sent his cavalry to flank them. But Gao responded with calm efficiency. The lines held until, on the 5th day, everything changed. The Karluk Turks betrayed the Tang, attacking from the rear flanks. Ziyad launched a frontal assault. Caught between hammer and anvil, the Tang army collapsed. Gao fled with a few thousand survivors. Tens of thousands were slain, and China's influence in Central Asia vanished. The Tang Dynasty tried to recover. They sent new troops, but just 4 years later, in 755, disaster struck at home. The An Lushan rebellion tore China apart. Millions died. The Tang would never return to Central Asia. The Abbasids, too, could not hold the region for long. Turkic powers rose and began to convert to Islam. From those Turkic tribes would rise the Seljuks, the Mamluks, and the Ottoman Empire. But Talas changed more than just borders. Among the Chinese prisoners taken by the Abbasids were artisans, papermakers. For centuries, China had guarded the secret of paper, a technology that made empires write, remember, record. Now, that secret spread. Baghdad became the first Islamic city with a paper mill. Soon, the Islamic world was filled with books, science, philosophy, and translation. The House of Wisdom in Baghdad, the Arabic preservation of Greek knowledge, the eventual spark of the European Renaissance. All of it can trace a thread back to Talas. The Battle of Talas was not a grand conquest. It didn't redraw maps or change kings, but it shifted civilizations. It marked the end of China's westward reach, the beginning of Islamic influence in Central Asia, and the birth of the written world beyond East Asia.